Here's why a right brain person struggles to manifest. Now, a left brain person is a farmer, a right brain person is a hunter. And farmers and hunters operate differently in our reality. And once you understand how your brain works, you'll be able to manifest much easier. And when I found out about this, it radically changed and shifted my perspective. Now, I get a lot of right brain people in my programs, in my courses, especially my Awaken program, where I'm teaching people how to manifest from the God frequency and how to manifest from truth rather than from duality and polarity. There's a link in the description. It's a 6-month transformational program that will definitely transform your life.
I feel like I have the tools and I've seen things shift actively since working with Jaden and Gavin.
So our world is set up for left brain people, or should I say it's set up for us to be conditioned to focus on the left brain, to be logical, to be the farmer. The farmer is someone that does the same thing every day. If you look at a farmer cutting wood or taking care of the animals or whatever it is, there's a routine and ritual to what a farmer does. A hunter, however, is going out into the wilderness, and it can be a different thing every single day. This is more of the creative mind, and once the hunter has found its prey, it can really take action and focus on what it needs to do in order to get the prey. And this is the difference between the left brain and the right brain. So right brain people are usually more creative. They have loads of projects and things that they want to do. They don't know which one to choose, which one to go with first. They don't know how to be productive, usually, sometimes, not all of the time, but they have a hard time being productive and being consistent and following through. It becomes monotonous, it becomes tedious, it becomes the same thing every day, and it's just frying the brain. They need a little bit more spontaneity and variety and doing different things. And so that's why they have loads of projects and why they're so creative and why they can't stick with one thing. And so just so you know, I'm a right brain person and I struggle with these things myself. I was a chronic procrastinator because I didn't understand how my brain functioned and how to get myself to do stuff. Whenever I would tell myself to do something, which is left brain, logical, discipline, control yourself, sit down behind the computer, get it done, hustle, grind kind of mindset, I struggled by doing it this way. So I was chronically procrastinating, resisting, and feeling all of this internal resistance that was holding me back from creating the reality that I want at the time. I tried to set schedules and deadlines and make sure I follow the routine exactly how it said it's going to be, do the to-do list, buy the journals, right? I should write down in these journals, these are the things that I'm going to do today. And it somewhat helped me, but again, I didn't have that sense of consistency and like flexibility in my being, and it felt like I was trying to control myself, and it just didn't feel all around good. So when it comes to a right brain person and we get into the space of spirituality and law of attraction, and we try to visualize the life that we want, sometimes it's a little bit difficult. Sometimes you can't even see. Sometimes when you are told to elicit in emotions, feel good about this, feel good about visualizing this, you can't access the emotion. It's like there's an emotional wall that comes up and it doesn't feel right. It feels like you're forcing it. It feels like weird. Why am I doing this? Like, why do I have to do a meditation every day? Why do I have to do visualization every day? Why do I have to do affirmations every day? Why do I have to use all these techniques and strategies? And like, it just doesn't feel good. It feels like there's a wall there. It feels like there's a block there. It feels like resistance. And it feels like I'm just pushing, and like, it feels weird. It feels like I'm trying. And just to be clear, I want to say this now before I forget, that right brain people, you need some form of self-control. Like, you need some sort of balance in terms of structure. You need some sort of structure. Being totally on the spectrum of just being totally right-brained probably won't work for you long term, because you have to do like certain things that create that sense of consistency and results over time. So when it comes to manifesting, once you've found your prey, which can be switched here to purpose, passion, joy, play, work, once you step into that frequency, you're able to go fully hunt, right? Now, sometimes we got multiple things that is our play, that is our joy, that we like. And so that is where the structure comes in. That is where the balance comes in. You need to choose one or two and really focus and hone in on that. People always ask me, okay, why don't you post on Instagram? Why don't you post on TikTok? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? The key is learning that when you are building skyscrapers, for example, right? You've got 2 skyscrapers. and you're trying to build those 2 skyscrapers at the same time, right? It's going to take forever for you to build those skyscrapers. However, if you focus on building 1 skyscraper and you complete it, the next one is way easier to build because you finished the first one. You get all of the experience, all the problems that happened during that period, all of this stuff from building that specific skyscraper. So when you move to the next project and you build the second skyscraper, it happens way quicker and much faster because you got all the knowledge from the previous one. So if you're building a business, starting this project or whatever it is, and you follow through, do the next project and finish it. In fact, in general, as a creative person, as a right brain person, as a spiritual, you want to train yourself to finish things. Finishing things is key. To finish, to get to the end line is done. Once you got to that place, you will gain experience and knowledge. It's just so crazy that I speak to a lot of people in this area and that they don't finish things, so they never know whether it would have worked out or not worked out. They start projects, they put it on the back burner, they focus on something else, they jump from project to project, shiny object syndrome, they jump to a new program, this program looks better, or this course looks better, or this software looks better, and then they get lost in this world of trying new things because it's new. Why? Because that new energy releases a bunch of dopamine. It releases a bunch of serotonin, dopamine, endorphins into the body. And like, ooh, something new, right? Something shiny, right? And then you start getting attached to that new thing and it takes all of your attention. And that's the problem between the hunter and the farmer, is that farmers can consistently do things over and over and over again and they don't need the new thing, right? They don't need the shiny new tractor. The old tractor already works. And so what we got to realize is that through being on your phone, going on social media, going on Instagram and scrolling through and playing the gambling of social media, the infinite scroll, that is a part of messing with your creative brain because you're constantly looking for that new dopamine hit, You have to train yourself to not chase dopamine. I know this sounds a little bit crazy, but you have to train yourself not to be chasing the dopamine. If you're going to chase dopamine, make sure you chase it inside the project that you're doing and you're getting the dopamine release from doing it. So I always tell people, you need to know where you are, you need to know where you want to be and enjoy the process to getting there. And in fact, enjoying the process to getting there is the success because you're in fulfillment and you're not focused on the destination of getting or gaining something, but you're enjoying what you're doing and the outcome and the finishing line is naturally happening because you are enjoying the process. So enjoying the process can look in so many different ways, but essentially you want to create an environment and create a routine, ritual system that works for you, that allows you to get to the finish line over and over and over again because you're enjoying what you're doing. You're getting the dopamine release from it and it's becoming addictive to do the thing. So for me, making YouTube videos and being creative in this way is something that I can be consistent at because I enjoy the process. I love it. I love YouTube. I love the whole process of it. I love the environment of it. I love the research of it. I love all of it. And so I enjoy the process of it. Hence why I'm able to be consistent at it, follow through and get amazing results. And by the way, in my Awaken program, we have a ton of people who are right-brained, a lot of INFPs, INFJs, INTPs. I don't know if you know what this is, but these are different personality types. And people who are in the creative brain are manifesting their reality. And it's an amazing community. It's transforming people's lives. And there's a link in the description if you would like to join that. Usually with right-brain people, also the struggle that they have with manifesting is they don't have a reason behind. There's no strong meaning behind what they're doing, so they're unable to be consistent. What do I mean by that? So for me, I was struggling to find my why. There's so many books on find your why, find your meaning, what's going to keep you motivated over the long run. I went through so many courses that were teaching this concept and it just didn't work for me. And the reason for that is because my why was operating on duality and polarity. My why is that I want to make money. My why is that I want to create generational wealth for my family. My why is that I want to eat organic food. It was to do with the 3D. It was to do with the matrix. And while these things were motivating me a little bit, it wasn't a big enough mission for the soul. It wasn't a big enough mission for the heart. It wasn't a big enough mission for the truth. And I had to transcend duality and polarity and realize the mission behind the mission, behind the mission, behind the mission is that I just want to remind people of the isness. Everything beyond this duality and polarity, helping people raise their vibration, raising the vibration of the planet. It's more of a spiritual why and helping people get back to the truth. I cannot help but do that. that. It's almost like a sin. Like if I don't share this information with you, the information that I've been able to access and remember myself, now I'm just reminding people of that same information. And I'm not teaching it. Again, I'm reminding you because you already know it's inside of you. I'm just bringing you back and peeling back the onion layers of the ego and helping you transcend the ego and helping you remember who you truly are. This is a powerful why. Like, it's pulling me, it's also pushing me. It's like if I don't do it, then man, I can't do that. And maybe that's my ego, right? And still dealing with duality and polarity here. I'm feeling pulled and compelled by the isness, by God, by truth. And so people struggle to find their why. And what I would say is to find your spiritual why. What is your spiritual why? Why you want to do the painting? What is the spiritual why? Why you want to start the crystal store, the nail salon, or whatever it is that you want to create, manifest, trading? What is the spiritual why behind it? And finding that deeper meaning. And this might take some writing. This might take some diarying and some time to really dig deep into this. It might take some deep meditation. It might take going into higher vibrational frequencies and gaining the information from the higher self. And there's so many different ways to do this. But essentially, we want to tap into the truth, our core. And once we get into that, you are living through God, allowing God to live through you. And the energy is just flowing through you naturally. And you naturally feel motivated. You stepped into the energy of motivation, action, and it's just happening. And so a lot of people want to take action. And what I would say to that is let action take you, because action is always existing in the spiritual realm. Every single reality, every single thing is existing right now. We just choose to use our mind to do things, to take action. But action is always happening. It's always happening. It never stops happening, right? What do I mean by that? If we look under a high-powered microscope, everything is moving, vibrating, and doing whatever it's doing. And what we got to realize is that we are that too, the infinite action. And we can tap into that by going beyond the mind, going into non-duality, tapping into our true creativity and allowing that energy to flow through us. So if you're procrastinating, usually it's because you're too much in the mind. If you're procrastinating, use some reverse psychology here. Procrastinate even more. Like, tell yourself you're going to procrastinate more, because sometimes that can trick the mind into just doing it. Okay, I'm going to procrastinate more. You're not beating yourself up about it. You're not saying that it's something bad, whatever it is. I'm just going to live in procrastination right now, and it's okay. It's the energy that we're putting behind it. It's the pendulum that we're putting behind it. I'm procrastinating right now. I don't like that I'm procrastinating right now. I want to do the thing. I'm not doing the thing. And it creates all this energy and narrative and story and resistance in your mind. And then we're swinging the pendulum. And then something new comes along. You get a fresh start, new year, something happens and you feel good and positive. And then you start taking action. You get bored of it. You have the resistance again. Like you don't want to do it anymore. You found something new and then you swing the other way and then you're procrastinating. It's a pendulum and you're stuck in the pendulum because you're giving energy to the pendulum. So if you're procrastinating, stop giving energy to the procrastinating in the way that you're doing it. Step into non-duality, step into the isness and become aware of the label of procrastination and live in the experience of truth, and don't put any labels on the energy. Become aware of it, allow yourself to just be there. And once you experience that more and more, you'll be able to release it more and more, and then realize that action is not my mind. Action just is, and operate from that space and allow yourself to flow into the work. So like I said before, as a right brain person, you're going to need some structure. So for me, I have windows of work. Okay, now not everyone works from home and has their own business and stuff like this. So I'm going to try and explain this in a way for people who have the 9 to 5. For people who have the 9 to 5 or the career and stuff like that and are trying to build something on the side or whatever it is, you're going to have to allocate some sort of time or window for that project. And I recommend as a creative person that you do it first thing in the morning, even before you brush your teeth. I know that sounds crazy, but do the thing first thing in the morning as soon as you get up. Don't do anything else before you do that high priority thing, the thing that you want that leads to the lifestyle that you want. Make it your number one priority before you do anything else. Cut out all these meditations and these routines and these affirmations and things and that don't lead to your goal, right? Do the thing that leads to your goal first, your number one priority. So focus on the visualization and the affirmations and all of these techniques. Focus on what leads to the goal. And one of the things I learned a long time ago when I first started business is what are the money making activities? What are the main things that needs to be focused on in the business? Usually in the business, online, even offline, is getting traffic, getting visitors, and selling. Those are the two things you have to focus on to make a business successful. You don't necessarily need business cards and all this fancy website and all of this stuff. It's focusing on the little things that bring you towards success. And so most people are not doing the things. And so we want to learn how to do the things. What are the main things that I need to do? And focus on those things only. But essentially what I'm saying is to prioritize as soon as you wake up, that is the first thing that you do. When I first started, working out 2 hours in the gym 5 days a week, sometimes even 6 days a week. It was a crazy routine. I was like much more bulky and like bigger and stuff like this. I was working a 9-to-5 job. My ex-girlfriend at the time had a really, really busy schedule. I loved the gym, but I quit. I quit the gym completely because it's taken 2 hours of my day. Being in freedom and traveling the world and creating financial abundance was more important at the time than going to the gym for 2 hours. But essentially, this is the sacrifices that I made in order to reach my desired lifestyle. Back then when I was doing manifesting, it was about desiring and stuff like this, but now it's more of just is. And so I was desiring and I did whatever it took. I cut out all the things that were taking a bunch of time and focused on the main priority things. There's a book about this called Essentialism. I haven't actually read the book, but my business partner Jaden has read the book. He told me about it, and essentially it's like cutting out all the bullshit and only focusing on what matters, whether that's family, friends, projects that you're doing, cutting out all the stuff and focusing and creating a high priority thing that you do every single morning as soon as you wake up. Well, it doesn't say that in the book. I'm sure it doesn't say that in the book. That's what I'm teaching here. That's what works for me as a right brain person. Wake up in the morning, make a video. Simple as that. And so essentially you want to build everything in your life around that thing that's going to lead to the results that you want. If you're doing trading, if you're doing Forex, if you're doing an online business, Shopify store, starting your own business, whatever it is, coaching business, coaching practice, YouTube channel, whatever it is, how can you make that your number one priority? In fact, how does the universe think about it? How does God think about it when it comes to this particular goal, the thing that you want? What do I mean by that? Are you showing the energy of the God frequency around the thing that you are wanting? Or are you brushing it aside? I'll do it later. It's not a priority to me. I'll get to it. I'll do it next week, right? You're not showing priority to the thing and the life that you want. Okay, and I'm not saying to put importance behind it or excess importance behind it, should I say. What I'm saying is, are you arranging your life? Are your actions congruent with the reality that you want? If not, then something needs to change and you need to make it more important. God forbid, touch wood here. Let's say you had an illness and it's a very severe illness, something that's so-called incurable. I don't know about you, but if you're anything like me, I'm going to do everything that it takes to shift that. It's going to be my number one priority. It's all I'm going to focus on, right? I'm going to put a lot of energy behind it. Well, maybe not a lot of energy behind it. I'm going to prioritize it and research and learn more about it. Look at the different herbs and whatever to overcome such thing. But for a lot of us, it needs to be painful in order for us to take that level of action. But when it's something pleasurable for us, when it's something that's for me and I'm improving myself, or like I'm manifesting the reality that I want, it's like less of a priority now. And so this is what the right brain people need to do, is they need to learn how to prioritize, because they're so focused on giving, loving everybody else, and they forget about themselves, and they're afraid to be selfish. And I wouldn't even call it selfish. I would call it long-term selflessness, because oftentimes your light ends up helping the people that you don't want to let down, that you think are going to call you selfish, that have opinions about you and these things. So if you're a right brain person, or you're an INFJ, INFP, INTP, right? You're one of these personalities that are N's, right? You're intuitive, you're tapped in, you're in a creative mind, you want to be more productive, you want to transform your life, you want to tap into the God frequency and operating from love and above on the map of consciousness, then you can continue this journey with me. The link's in the description, where we've got an amazing community, life-changing program, and I think you might like it, all right? I'll see you in the next video. Peace.